July 1st, 2019. The Los Angeles Angels were in Southlake, Texas, preparing for the first game of a series against the Rangers. It was the kind of summer night that feels eternal when you're in the middle of a baseball season. The road stretched out ahead, the pennant race still alive, the season still full of possibility. But sometime between the night of June 30th and the morning of July 1st, in room 469 of the Lowe's Arlington Hotel, Tyler Skaggs, 27 years old, left-handed pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels, a young man with everything ahead of him, took his last breath. By the time his teammates arrived at Globe Life Park that afternoon, the game had already been postponed. Some players found out from a text. Some found out in the clubhouse. Some didn't fully understand what they were hearing because it didn't seem possible. Not Tyler, not today, not ever. This is the story of one of baseball's most devastating losses. A story about talent, about pain, about the dark corners of a culture that failed one of its own, and about the love of a team that refused to let his number disappear into the void. Tyler Cole Skaggs was born on July 13, 1991, in Woodland Hills, California, deep in the heart of Los Angeles Angels country. His mother, Debbie, had played collegiate softball at Cal State Northridge. Baseball wasn't just a pastime for the Skaggs family. It was a language. Tyler grew up throwing left-handed with a natural ease that coaches noticed immediately. At Santa Monica High School, he became one of the most coveted pitching prospects in the country. In 2009, the Angels selected him in the first round of the MLB draft, 41st overall. He was a California kid going to play for his home state team. It felt like destiny. He tore through the minor leagues. His stuff was electric. His demeanor in the clubhouse was even better. Loose, funny, fiercely loyal to his teammates. He made his major league debut in 2012 at just 20 years old. He was traded to Arizona, refined his craft, and then in 2014, he came back to Los Angeles, traded home to the Angels. The circle complete. But just as Tyler's career seemed to be gaining altitude, it hit a wall. Tommy John surgery sidelined him for nearly 2 full years. It's not just a physical recovery, it's a psychological one. Tyler did it. He fought through the rehab, the doubt, the long days of throwing into a net. He came back in 2016, and by 2019, he was emerging as a genuine frontline starter. He had just married his longtime girlfriend Carly in December 2018. He was happy. He was healthy, or so it appeared. He had everything. The official cause of death was an accidental overdose. Tyler Skaggs died from a toxic combination of fentanyl, oxycodone, and alcohol. He was 27 years old. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid roughly 100 times more potent than morphine, had made its way into what Tyler consumed. It was the story of someone who had been quietly struggling, who had been caught in the grip of opioid dependency, a crisis that has devastated communities across America for years. In November 2020, Eric Kay, the Angels' former director of communications, was indicted. Federal prosecutors argued that Kay had supplied Tyler Skaggs with the opioids that contributed to his death. In February 2022, Kay was convicted and subsequently sentenced to 22 years in federal prison. But the trial revealed something even more disturbing. Testimony suggested that multiple players had been involved in opioid use, and that team officials may have been aware of a broader culture of drug misuse within the organization. The family of Tyler Skaggs filed a civil lawsuit against the team, accusing them of looking the other way. 11 days after Tyler Skaggs died, the Angels came home to play the Houston Astros. It was the first home game since the tragedy. The Angels wore patches bearing the number 45, and what happened that night is one of the most extraordinary and heartbreaking moments in modern baseball history. Taylor Cole and Felix Pina combined to throw a no-hitter. A no-hitter on the night the team came home to mourn their fallen teammate. The Angels won 13-0. When the final out was recorded, the players wept. They pointed to the sky. They held each other. They said his name. The Angels retired Tyler Skaggs' number 45 the following year. Tyler Skaggs was 27 years old. He was a husband, a son, a teammate, and a genuinely good human being. He was not a cautionary tale. He was a person, one who struggled, and who deserved better from the systems and people around him. Remember Tyler Skaggs. Remember number 45. And remember that the tragedy was never inevitable. Tyler Cole Skaggs. July 13, 1991. July 1st, 2019.